Hey guys, and welcome back. And today I wanted to try and answer the question, why do games today feel so much worse than the games we played years ago? I think I have the answer, so let's go. Alright guys, so I got this idea from a debate I was having with a few friends of mine, and I actually wanted to take a deeper dive into it. So, what is the issue with games today? Why do they feel so much worse than the games we remember as children? And why do those old games feel like the best things we've ever played, even today? So first, we need to look at things from outside of our gaming life. You see, I don't think games have actually gotten any worse. In fact, I find that to be the opposite. I think games have only gotten better. Graphics, optimization, movement, you name it, and games have improved on it. So why is it that people say the old ways were just better? Why do they say that the old games can just never be beat? And to put it simply and bluntly, the games today haven't actually gotten worse. Our lives around our games has. Now, before some of you come at me in the comments saying that you are some super successful man or woman and your life is perfect, everything you want is at your fingertips, I want you to ask yourself, wouldn't you rather be sitting at home after a long day of school or waking up early morning on a Saturday and just get to lie around and play games all day with some of your best friends? Some, if you're like me, lived thousands of miles away from you. Or would you rather be doing your, I'm sure, just lovely office job? Yeah, I thought so. Games today are still getting better. Maps are getting more detailed, movement is becoming smoother than ever. We have better technology. Monitors are ridiculously good nowadays, and they are making mice and keyboards as sensitive as ever to make sure that every movement and click you make is perfect. And while all this is going on, we have all been growing up. We've been going to college or starting our careers and starting to take on more responsibilities. Some of us have a lot of bills, a lot of appointments, maybe long work hours. And some of us even have kids at this point. And I'm sure there's many more that I didn't even list. And we all work hard for the lives that we have created for ourselves. So we as people like to look for something else to blame our hatred on for the day. For instance, I want you to think of a time when you were younger playing games and you just happened to have a terrible day at school. And the moment one thing went wrong in your game, it would just send you over the edge. It's not the game's fault. You were already upset, but it is what pushed you over the edge. It's the last bad thing that happened to you to push you over the edge. So you blame the game. You don't take into account all the other things that happened, just that one. And that's human nature. This is actually a lot like when people go out for drinks and the next morning they wake up with a really bad hangover. A lot of people blame that last shot of hard liquor they had at the night, right? When the reality is, even if had they not taken that last shot, they were probably still going to have that terrible hangover the next day. But it just so happens to be the last thing they did. And so they blame it on that. Now, add to our lives changing, gaming has become mainstream. Now, I'm only 23, but even when I was growing up, gaming was still considered a very weird and awkward. You were considered a nerd or a loser if you wanted to play video games or learn about them or any type of tech stuff. You were still kind of an outcast. But now, it seems like everyone and their mother is playing video games. And although that sounds like it should be a good thing, the games that have taken over really aren't the games that we as a community have to offer. Things like Fortnite, Minecraft, and Warzone are the big three that you tend to see in the mainstream a lot. Games that most of the public has for sure at least heard about, and most have actually probably played at some point. And I believe the reason for a lot of this is that these games can give you hours of fulfillment in as little as an hour. Everyone's chasing that dopamine drug. Many people, especially casual gamers, don't have 4 or 5 hours a day to dive into one of our old favorite classics or the newest RPG that just dropped. Most casual gamers have to take off a day or wait until the weekend that they have available in order to do that. Whereas games like Minecraft and Fortnite allow you to build a home or win a match or two within an hour of playing with some friends, and you get that satisfaction feeling that you did something in that game today. And you can just move on with your day, feeling a little bit better. You got your dopamine fix. And along with gaming being mainstream, has come what I like to call the Twitch generation of gamers. Now, these are kids who were born in the late 2000s or the early 2010s who have grown up watching streamers like Ninja, Shroud, Summit, Imperial Hall, Timmy, The Doc, and many others like them. Now, of course, these guys are extremely entertaining. But one of the main driving factors that people flock to them to see is their insane ability to dominate at almost any game they play. Which has caused this new gen of gamers to want to do the exact same thing. They want to be the best. But they're kids and they probably don't fully understand what it takes to get to that level of skill at anything, let alone in competitive video games. So this has bred a very toxic generation. Now, I know the old days of the COD lobbies were toxic and extreme, but a lot of it, again, I feel like goes back to old guys having a bad day. A lot of the times, at least how I remember it, being in COD lobbies, it was never another kid yelling at me. It was never another child. It's very rarely, anyways. It was always some adult who called me a POS or a trash kid or whatever. And now the cycle's continuing, but on an even worse scale. See, now if you even think of playing games for fun, you're just considered trash or straight up a terrible person. You're often reported even in many games. Now, in fully competitive games, this kind of stuff is common, and to me is at least understandable. You're in a competitive setting, you should be trying to win. But the main issue I'm seeing is this has now leaked into all types of games. From, yes, the most hardcore competitive shooters like Counter-Strike, all the way down to simple indie games even. I have seen tons of lobbies where a toxic child will always just blame me for a loss. Or someone on our team, even if it was clearly not. I've even recently been getting flamed and yelled at in the Lost Ark PvP, which to me is insane. Most people often use that as like just a fun little time passer instead of going out and grinding out quests. So I don't think games as a whole have actually gotten any worse. I think we have two generations of gaming communities that are clashing heads, which takes a lot of the fun away. When the one hobby we've all grown up to love starts to not be the safe place that we all want to be at the end of the day, it sucks. I remember getting off of practice or out of school and just not being able to wait to get home and just unwind and get lost in some new RPG or some old classic that I've just been dying to play for a long time. Where a lot of kids today, to me, seem like they're not looking to unwind. They're not looking to just get lost in a game and enjoy the amazing graphics that we've been blessed with, or the cool, entertaining little side gigs that you can do, like indie games or fun little horror games. No, they all want to play the newest competitive game, and they all want to be the best at it. It doesn't matter if the game's an RPG, and it doesn't matter if the game is actually meant to be competitive. So it's caused this massive rift in generations. I believe the main reason for this rift is how we all grew up on games. Many of us grew up, the early 90s, late 90s, and early 2000s, where if we wanted to see our favorite players, we physically had to go to places. We had to plan trips. Or if we were lucky enough, we had the channel, but there was very few, and many places didn't offer it. Where now, kids can just load up their favorite streamer and watch him all day if they wish. So a lot of us didn't get to see that super hardcore competitive side to games, and we all grew up, this older generation all grew up believing that this was just for fun, that you couldn't make a career out of this, but a very select few could, and we're just meant to use this as entertainment, enjoyment, something to do after a long, hard day, or just when you're trying to pass some time on the weekend, load up a game. But games have now become nothing but competitive havens for kids who want to be the new Ninja, or who want to be the next Shroud. So to sum it all up, guys, next time you think, man, these games are so much worse than the games I remember, I want you to think, is this game actually worse? Or is someone just flaming you? Is this game actually worse? Or did one mechanic just not rub you the right way, and so you're just going to call it worse because it makes you feel better, because the nostalgia kicks in? Now, I'm not saying that there aren't games today that aren't major flops. New World, Cyberpunk, the GTA trilogy that recently dropped. A lot of those, yeah, are really bad and shouldn't have been released when they were. But a lot of those games, even at their worst, were still better than a lot of games we played. But anyways, guys, I just want you to go ahead and leave a comment down below what you think. What's your opinion? Do you actually believe games have gotten a lot worse, or are you on my side and think, no, that this new generation has just kind of become a little more toxic than even some of us were back in the old Black Ops 2 days? But let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. You can come check me out over on Twitch. I'm usually live every night from about 8 p.m. to midnight Central Time, US. So go ahead, stop over there, give me a follow, come say hi. It all means a ton, guys. Thanks for the support recently, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body in Harvard above me.